Hi everyone. Today I want to continue on with my 18-day movie marathon, last 18 days of April. I'm going to watch and comment on one movie that's new to the Criterion Channel in April 2021. Today's film is Dark City. It's from 1950. It stars Charlton Heston, directed by William Dieterle. It has some relevance to the previous three. This is the fourth movie of this marathon series, and it has some relevance to the earlier three films, which were all film noirs to one degree or another. The title Dark City, of course, is absolutely descriptive of what film noir was all about: the griminess, the trap of the city, with characters who feel trapped by their past, by incidents, basically of crime. This is the film that introduces Charlton Heston to the movies. He gets top billing. He's in almost every scene. But it doesn't even say starring Charlton Heston. It says introducing Charlton Heston. And the producer, Hal Walls, I think did a similar thing with when he introduced Burt Lancaster a couple years earlier in his first major role. Heston is about 28 years old, I think, here, and his chiseled face is at its absolute intriguing. You can see Moses, you can see Vargas, the police officer in Orson Welles' Touch of Evil, Ben-Hur, many other Heston films in which that chiseled face is really photographed to great appeal and great power sometimes. This film it's kind of a rather loosely structured film, but it has excellent set pieces. The premise is similar to the one in Force of Evil a couple movies back, where a illegal gambling establishment is raided by the police and shut down, and it leaves Ed Begley, Jack Webb, Harry Morgan with nothing much to do. So they decide to see if they can take some money away from this visitor from L.A. Presumably we're in Chicago. I never got a real sense that we're in Chicago because Heston and his girlfriend, played by Elizabeth Scott, go down to the waterfront, and there's a big ocean liner, and they comment on where these people are going. But it's mentioned, I guess, that they are in Chicago. I certainly get reviews, so maybe I missed something there. It moves around a lot. Goes to L.A., goes to Vegas, but the set pieces that again are kind of loosely organized within the whole framework of the film are really good, and especially the gambling scenes. There's two scenes where they try to take Don DeFore, playing this visitor from L.A. who's in Chicago for business. They know he has a lot of money on him, and they're going to try to take it away from him. In the beginning part of the film, these set piece scenes are sort of intersected by Elizabeth Scott, who is a torch singer in a cafe, and I don't know how many songs she sings in this movie, maybe 4 or 5, and she's playing a part where she's clingy, she's needy, she's so in love with Charlton Heston, who just treats her sort of cavalierly. There's not going to be any love. Don't expect love. Don't expect marriage. Don't expect a long-term relationship. But she's totally besotted to the point where she looks a little bit, she looks a little. You wonder, does she have any intelligence? Can she see what this guy really is? But the film focuses in on her so insistently when she's singing these songs, and as it turns out, when I did some research, she was the long-term girlfriend of Hal Walls, the producer of Dark City. And I also wondered, I wonder if she's actually singing these songs, but she evidently was dubbed. But curiously enough, in a few years, she would take voice lessons to try to become a kind of torch song singer in cabarets. And there's a scene in L.A., and the whole premise of the film is really kind of interesting because they are now, these three men, Ed Begley, Charlton Heston, and Jack Webb, are now being they're being followed, and they're become the prey of a psychotic killer. At the same time, they're trying to find out what this guy looks like and trying to track him down himself. So there's a curious contrast in these of somebody who is being tracked down, trying to track down the tracker. And when they go to L.A., the widow of the man who dies in the film, they're hoping to find some clues. Charlton Heston goes to see her under false pretenses, and I thought this scene was really good. It doesn't seem to work much as far as the rest of the film goes, but it just is like a short story within the film itself. It's pretty good. And this woman is played by Vivica Linfors, and she's a widow. She had a loveless marriage. They were kind of strangers. It was one of those World War II time marriages where he goes off the war, doesn't seem to be the same person when he comes back. They have a small son. Heston ingratiates himself with them, and of course, she, just like Elizabeth Scott, falls immediately in love with him, and understandably so. And that's what makes these scenes kind of powerful. And you have the city is full of desperation, but even out here in the suburbs, and we get like the cleanliness of the suburbs in relation to the dirtiness of the city in film noir. But there's just as much despair there as Heston finds out. And in the end of the film, we go to Las Vegas. There's a pretty good ending to this film, and like I say, it's a lot of really excellent set pieces, well acted. The story itself, yeah, it's a little bit hard to take. Dean Jagger plays a police detective who originally is a vice squad detective, then he becomes a homicide detective, and then he travels around. He goes to L.A., to Vegas. It's a bit hard. The screenplay obviously needed a lot of work, but seeing Heston in his first screen appearance is pretty interesting, especially in relation to the rest of his career. And just as a minor film noir, I don't think this is anywhere near a major one. It's still, like so many film noirs, they seem to have staying power. Okay, so that'll wrap up this brief discussion of Dark City. I thank everybody who stuck with me for these few minutes. I thank you and appreciate it very much, and I'll catch you next time.